Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today I'll be talking about web servers and AMIs. Okay, so how to create a AMI, okay, and how we can create a web server using web server. How we can take the AMI image and how we can transport to the different region. Okay, so will talk about this topic today. So let's create a EC2 machine. We'll deploy a uh, Apache Web Server or HTTPD, okay, and we'll access from the browser for my PHP admin, and we'll use a database called any database can able to use it. So as of now, we can go for MariaDB also, and so so we'll start for the today's topic. So we can call it as a we are going to install a lamp installation in the Amazon Linux. Okay. First we'll install the lamp on Amazon Linux 2023 OS. Okay. So lamp means okay, lamp installation means it is all included like a web servers, PHP, database, everything we call it as a lamp servers. Okay. So first we'll create a LAMP server, okay, and we can access it from the browser, okay, PHP admin or PHP admin, how we can access it, okay. Then we can take the AMI image, okay. Then we can transfer to any other region. Then we are able to see it, okay. So that is what we are going to do it, okay. So let's create a EC2 machine, okay. Let me go to the instance. So I'll be mentioning it as a LAMP server AMI, okay. So I'm going to select the latest AMI or image, I can call it, and I'm going to use at least two virtual CPU or 4 GB RAM. Okay. So if you wanted to create a key pair, so this is a testing environment. So I'm not going to use any key pair. I'm going to without key pair. I'm going to use it. It is not like a not recommended. Okay. For productions, you should have a minimum. You should have a key pair. Okay. But as of now, I don't record. This is testing purpose. Okay. If you come to the networking select networking settings, I'm going to use by default one and subnet default. This is here I'm going to select a enable. So by default it is already enabled. Okay. For network setting I'm going to take it by default. Okay. And for security group I'll be selecting by default. Okay, because all the ports it is enabled. Okay, I don't want it to open again. For the storage things I'm going to select maintain minimum 20 GB. That is fine for me. Okay, so this is all configuration. So let me launch a instance. Okay, we'll go to the vwall instance. I can just type it running. So we can connect the instance from the AWS itself only, console itself only. Let's come back. Still it is pending. So some of the people they will call it as a lamp web server or lamp stack. Okay, so that is what we are going to do it today. Okay, because some of the people they will ask for the only Apache web server. Okay, some people they wanted to ask the database also. We need to install the Linux machine. Okay, and how we can create the databases, any databases. For example, right now I'm taking MariaDB. Okay, with PHP with web server. Okay, so these three things we can call it as a LAMP web server, or you can call it as a LAMP stack. Okay, so for this setup, Okay, you can use it in the static website. For example, if you wanted to host it any static website, you can use it this one. And dynamic also you can use it, that is also possible. Okay, so let's, it is running as of now, but still it is initializing. Okay, so let's connect it. So I'll just select the instance. I'll go to connect. So there is an option called EC2 instance connect. Okay, if you are having a public IP address, you can able to connect it from the console itself only. If it is private IP, you cannot able to connect it. Okay, so it is having a public IP. So I'm going to select it. The username by default EC2 user. Okay, let's connect it. Okay, so now we are logged into the Amazon Linux 3, I mean 2023 versions. Okay, let me clear it. So first, whenever you log into the any Linux machine, you need to update the packages. Okay, so let me paste it. Sudo dnf hyphen update. So any latest version for Linux and Red Hat, we are going to use a DNF. We are not going to use a M for the Red Hat 7 and 8. We can use it. Okay. So as of now, we are going to use a latest packages. That is a DNF. Okay. Okay. So now what we can do it, we can install the Apache web server with PHP. Okay, so we are going to install the Apache web server and PHP packages. Okay, let me paste it. Okay, so this what it will do, it will install the HTTP means it's a Apache web server. Okay, and PHP and relevant for the packages. Okay, for dependency also it is going to install it. Okay, so once this is installed, we can go and install it MariaDB server. Okay, so MariaDB is the database. Okay, we are going to install it. Okay, so let me clear the section. Let me install the MariaDB. Okay, so I'm going to install a MariaDB. Okay, so once it is installed, we can able to see the version. Okay, so if you wanted to see the version of MariaDB, you can just execute this command. I'm going to execute it once this is packages installation completed. I'll go and I'll execute it. Okay, clear the session. Let me type it. MariaDB. Okay, this is the version. It is going to fetch it and it will show us the version of the package. Okay, so if you're able to see, this is 10.5. Okay, here also it is showing 10.105. That means 10.5 the version. Okay, so now we can start the web server. So we have installed the Apache web server, right? So we are going to start the Apache web server. Okay, so then, so whenever any server, Linux server, if it is rebooted, so we should automatically it should come up the services. So that is why we are going to enable the HTTPD. That means if you are enabled it, whenever server is rebooted, so automatically the services will be up. Okay, so it will just show that it is enabled or not. Okay, that is what it will do. Okay, so now what we can do it. So we are going to set the permission for the Apache web server. Okay. If you wanted to access the website, okay, from the browser, we need to do some modification in the Linux level. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the permission for user mode. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add this EC2 user in the Apache group. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to just exit and I'll just re-login it. Okay. So I have added the EC2 user to the Apache group. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going and I'll verify that groups. So what all the groups are there? EC2 user, IDM, wheel, Apache, systemd, and journal. Okay. So that's fine. So this is how we can check that uh, what all the groups are there in Linux. You can check it out. So now I'm going to change the ownership of a directory. So what is the directory? So slash was slash www. So under that, it should be EC2 user. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to add the. I'll go and I'll modify the some change permission. Okay. So for this where in www, we are going to do the changes. Okay. So this permission should be there. Okay. So you can give the permission full access also, no problem. But I'm going to give it. This is fine. Okay. So now we'll just verify it inside. So we are able to uh, see the output or not. Okay. So this echo command, what it will do, it will go under this directory and it will create a PHP info and it will give the output. Okay. So now what we can do it. So we need to access the application from outside, right? So let me what we can do it. I'll just mention the public IP. You wanted to see this is a it works means this is a web server. Okay. I wanted to see that PHP because we have installed PHP info.php. So we should get the PHP page. Okay. So this is how we can install the PHP also. Okay. And web server means if we just type it web server, this is a web server. Okay. That means HTTP. Okay. So now what we can do it, we can install the MariaDB. Okay. We are already installed it. Okay. So now I'm going to just verify it. Okay. Again, once again. So it will just show that what are the packages. Okay. So this is HTTPD. It is enabled. Okay. Now what we can do it. So we have just uh, uh, PHP. We have created a files, right? So now I'm going to remove that PHP page. That means the file I'm going to remove it. Okay. Now I wanted to start the web server. Okay. Let me start the MariaDB DB server. Okay. Now I'm going to start the installation. Okay. Okay. This is a command to start the thing. Okay. So enter current password for root. So as of now, I do not have it. Just enter it. So it will ask for the yes or no. Okay. Just make it yes. And here it is asking for the change the root password. Just mention it yes. Then you can mention the password. Any password you can take it. Okay. Now I will make it as a S for all the by default I will make it is all the settings. Okay. So now MariaDB installation is completed. Okay. Now I'll just stop the MariaDB as of now. Okay. I'll just enable it. So when our server is restarted, this MariaDB also it should be come up. Okay. So now I'm going to install the PHP myadmin. Okay. Let me clear the session. Okay. So this is a command to install the PHP. Okay. My admin. Okay. So now I'm going to restart the Apache web server. Okay. and I'm going to restart the PHP also. Okay, now I'll go inside the this file. Okay, so what are the files? There is nothing, there is no files. So now what we can do, we will download the packages for PHP my admin. Okay, okay, let me verify it. So there is a file, it is downloaded. Okay, now what we can do it, we can create a directory under here. Okay, so what it will do, it will just extract it. Okay, so sometime it takes time to extract it. Let's wait for that. So this step, what it will do, it will just create a PHP my admin folder, then it will extract it. Okay, okay. Now let me make it ls. See, there is a PHP my admin. Under this, all the whatever there is a it is extracted, it is inside, it is there. You can go and you can verify it. So let me remove this one. I don't require it as of now. I'm going to remove it. Okay. Now I'll start the MariaDB database. Okay, so I have started. Okay, now what we can do it, we can go to the URL here. Okay, I'll just mention PHP my admin. Okay, see, we are able to get the access. So from here you can just mention the database username and password. So once you put your credentials, you will log into the database. Okay, so if you wanted to create a database your own, just mention the test and create a database under where you want. Okay, I'll just create it. So once it is created, you can able to see your database. If you wanted to create a table, just mention anything, you can able to create it. Okay, so this is again belongs to the database team, so they will take care of it. So you should create a database. Okay, that is what I have just showed you. Okay, so this is all about lamp web server installation. Okay, now we'll back to our EC2. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, so we should, so when for example, if something goes wrong in the server, okay, it may be terminated, someone is terminated. Okay, so how to retrieve it and how to recover the web server. Okay, so in this case what we are going to do, so normally daily there is a backup should be happen for this EC2 machine specific time range. Okay, so now what I'm going to show it you, I will create a one AMI. Okay, and how we can restore it, the same image. Okay, whatever I showed you, the same image, we should get it out. Okay, so let me take the AMI. Okay, just go to the action and image, create a image. Okay, I will just mention it my AMI. Okay, I'll just copy. Okay, so this is make sure that you just enable it. Otherwise, your server will be rebooted. So whenever you are taking a image from a live environment, make sure that this should be enabled. Otherwise, the environment it will be restarted. Okay, inside the server, not in the console level also. Okay, so then there is a downtime. Okay, so you should keep always this one should be enabled so that it will be not rebooted server. Okay, so let's wait for to complete this one. Okay, so still it is pending. Let's wait to enable it. It will show us available. Let's see. Okay, so let's refresh. So the status is available. Okay, so now what we can do it, we'll go back to the instance. So unfortunately someone is terminated your server. Okay, so let me terminate it myself only. Okay, so how to go back to the same settings everything. So I wanted to see the my output php my admin. Okay, the whatever we have created a database, everything should be same thing only. Okay, so how to revert back, or how we can restore the server. Okay, so let it be terminate. So once it is done, we can go on, we can create a EC2 machine. Okay, let it be stop or terminate. Okay, so the now it is terminated. Okay, now let me go on, let me launch it. Okay, so this is also one way you can able to do it, or we can create it from here also. Okay, so let me do it here also. So from what I am going to change it here, so there is a AMI details, right? Okay, just type it my AMIs. If you are selected here, automatically it will show your AMI, how many AMIs you are created. Just select it, and all the configuration by default it will come. Okay, okay, see for example 20 GB. Okay, and now we need to select it, existing one here. Okay, and this is for process to keep here, you need to select it, or let me do it. Okay, let me create it. Okay, let me launch it. Okay, we should see the output here. Okay, I'll just rename it as a recover VM. Okay, and there is one more. uh, there is an option called a root volume. Okay, if you wanted to only root volume, we can able to replace it, that is also possible. Okay, okay, let me browse it. So still it is initializing, let me browse it, if we are getting a Apache web server output or not. Okay, let me remove it. So we are able to see the Apache web server. Okay, now what we can do it, we should access php my admin, right? PHP my admin. So make sure that properly you can just type it. Okay. So now I'm going to just type it root and password. I should log in it. Okay. And I should see the our database also. Okay. Okay. We are able to see the test also. Right. Okay. So this is a topic for today's. Okay. For how to create a LAMP web server, and how to create a image, and how to restore image from the AMI. Okay, so that is what today's topic. So for the other session, I'm going to cover it volumes. Okay, and snapshot lifecycle manager, I'll be going to show it in other classes. Okay, thank you very much guys, please subscribe my channel. Okay, thanks, bye bye.